Hello, and thank you everybody for joining us for another episode of Videoguys Live, where we spend about 15 to 20 minutes talking about new and exciting things that are happening in the live streaming ecosystem. And today we are talking about a fairly large milestone for the YoloBox Extreme. The YoloBox Extreme has been out for a little over a year now, and they just hit their 15th update in a year, free firmware update. So we thought that it would be a good time to come in and talk about the YoloBox Extreme, as well as talk about some of those great features that have come along the way and some of those that are very, very new. So if you don't know what the YoloBox Extreme is, this device right here is our YoloBox Extreme. This is an all-in-one monitor and switcher, recorder, and encoder. Now, what do I mean by monitor, switcher, recorder, encoder? Monitor, you can monitor what is happening in your live streaming event, whether it is your video inputs, your images, your lower thirds, things like that. You also have the ability to output to literal monitors via the two customizable HDMI outputs. It's a switcher. You can switch between all of those sources. You can pull up those graphics or play videos or upload PNGs or images or PowerPoint presentations or whatever it may be. It is also a recorder. The YoloBox Extreme has the ability to record not only your master program feed, but you also have the ability to record ISO feeds. And lastly, it is an encoder, which means that it can send that video somewhere. So you can encode to YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or wherever. You can also encode the video feed back onto an NDI network, and you can encode that feed to an SRT destination. So it is all of these things in one. Now, let's talk about some of the hardware inputs on the YoloBox Extreme. It has 8. Before we get into that, I also do want to mention that the YoloBox Extreme is on sale until the end of the month. So until 7/31/2026, the YoloBox Extreme is $50 off. So this, if you don't know what the YoloBox is, this is a perfect time to get into the YoloLiv ecosystem, and we'll talk about other parts of the ecosystem as we go on. So again, talking about the YoloBox Extreme. The YoloBox Extreme has 8 HDMI inputs on it. 5 of those HDMI inputs are going to be 4K 60. 3 of them are going to be 1080 60. You have 2 HDMI outputs, which can be totally customized to be a preview, program, multi-view, or a specific video source output through those 2 HDMI. You have the ability to have up to 6 NDI HX signals connected to this device. Now, what's really cool about the YoloBox Extreme is you can actually choose between either full bandwidth NDI sources or NDI HX. So you can have up to 2 full bandwidth NDI sources connected to it, and you can have up to 6 NDI HX sources connected to it. It can stream and record all the way up to 4K 60, and it has an 11.2-inch screen on it. Again, it is basically the size of a tablet. It's battery powered, extremely portable. Now let's talk a little bit about how some of these ins and outs might work. So again, you have all of those HDMI inputs, but you also have the ability to bring in video sources via USB with webcams, such as the YoloCam S3. You have the ability to connect SIM cards to it to be able to do cellular bonding and go out into the field and stream anywhere as long as you have a cellular connection. You have the ability to bring in NDI sources into the YoloBox, or videos or images that you upload via an SD card or a USB drive. And then you have your HDMI outputs. You have your ability to stream and encode from the YoloBox. One of the really cool features too with the encoding feature is that you can actually stream up to 3 destinations simultaneously right from the YoloBox. You don't have to go get, Restream or something like that to be able to stream to multiple channels. And if you did need to or want to stream to more, you can reach out to YoloLiv and you can use their YoloCast to be able to do even more. And The YoloBox is really great for one-person operations because everything fits into this form factor here where everything is controlled by the touchscreen control. Now, there are other ways to be able to control it, but everything can be very easily managed from a single position, switching between sources, pulling up lower thirds, managing audio levels, setting up your encoding destinations, all of that all can be done from the YoloBox. Now, it is also extremely portable. Like I said, it does have a battery included in the device because, again, it is essentially just a tablet that it has the live streaming abilities on it, tablet form factor, I should say. It's very easy to use and set up. I plugged this in maybe about 15-20 minutes before we started recording. I have all of my inputs in here. We're going to start getting into some demos in a minute here. So it's really just a great all-in-one, one-person solution to be able to start either streaming or recording. Now, like I said at the top of the show, this is a pretty big milestone. They just hit 15 major updates for the YoloBox Extreme. And that includes over 80 new features. And on average, they have not gone more than 10 weeks without giving an update to some YoloLiv device. For example, this is the YoloBox Ultra, and this is still getting updates periodically, even though it has been out a little bit longer. And these updates have been, again, given across all of the YoloBoxes, all the way from the OG YoloBox to now the YoloBox Extreme. And if you want to get more information on these updates, you can actually go to YoloLiv's website, and they have a change log. And I just wanted to point this out really quick too, because not only do they have these change logs where you can figure out exactly what was implemented with the latest firmware, but a lot of the times they will not only have screenshots to show you what these updates are, but they will also give you an in-depth video to show you exactly how to do a lot of these new functionality. So now I'm going to bring this back up full screen. Give me 1 second here. All right, so let's talk about some of those different things that have been implemented in some of the more later releases. One of those things is the ability to save the settings from one event to another event, which is going to make setting up and doing your events that much easier. So now if I ask Adam to bring in our feed from the YoloBox here, you will see if I go back to this is what you would see when you normally open up your YoloBox Extreme. You'll see on the left side, you'll see that there's streaming mode, and on the right side, you'll see that there is a quick mode. Now, it used to be every single time that you made an event, you would have to start from square one. Now, I'm not connected to the internet, but I did want to just show you that at the top of the screen there, you see that there is use previous event settings. So now if I were to make this event, it would actually just use all of the settings that I had from before. So my camera inputs, my layouts, my audio levels, my graphics, all of that will transfer over. And a good way to kind of show that off a little bit more is if I again go back and I go in to enter my quick mode, you will see all of my inputs and my layouts are still here. All of that information is here. Now, since we're talking about the quick mode, another thing that they added to the quick mode is the ability to stream right from quick mode. That used to not be able to be done. So now if you need to very quickly get into a production, you have that ability to do so. And of course, this is going to speed up your process. So if you're in quick mode and you have everything all set up and you have your events made on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're streaming to, you have the ability to just stream right from the YoloBox quick mode. YoloLiv has also implemented a whole host of different ways that you can control the YoloBox, and also the YoloBox can control other things. So let's start by talking about some of the ways that YoloLiv has made it so you can control the YoloBox. Now, Not too long ago, YoloLiv made and introduced the YOLO deck. Now, this is very similar to a stream deck and is really easy to set up. So I'm going to ask Adam one more time to bring up our screen over here. And in doing so, you can see in the top right-hand corner, there is that little gear. If I click on that and I go all the way down to the bottom, you will see that there is YOLO deck configuration. I click on that, and then this is all of the different functions that I can assign to keys on the YOLO deck. Now, this is great because it works with the YOLO deck and it's very easy to set up. But what if you are new to the YoloLiv ecosystem and you already have a Stream Deck? Well, Stream Deck has YoloLiv has got you covered there as well because they made it so you can actually use a Stream Deck with the YoloBox Extreme. If you just head on over to Elgato's marketplace, you will see now that there is an ability to download a plugin for the Stream Deck, and this works with most of the Stream Decks. And you do have to go through a computer in order to get it to work, but that option is there. And I will show you just really quickly that it is super easy to find and set up. Again, you just go into Elgato's marketplace, you type in the top YoloBox, and it will come up, and you can just download this and implement it into your Stream Deck settings. So now we'll bring this back up full screen one more time. There's also some other things that you can now control from the YoloBox Extreme itself. Now, one of those new things is the ability to do PTZ control. So now if I ask Adam to bring us up full screen again, you will see that I have one of my inputs here is called Close-Up NDI. And this is one of our cameras that we have in our studio. This is a PTZ Optics Move 4K 30x optical zoom PTZ camera. And if I click on those arrow keys in the top left there, you will see that I have the ability to now be able to pull up this camera, and from the YoloBox, you can see I'm able to move the camera wherever I want. Another thing that you're able to do with this is also set up presets. So in the top right, you'll see that there's P1, P2, P3, and these were just a couple shots that I had set up beforehand. So you can see there's P1, here's P2. We're gonna go in, zoom in on our YoloCam S7, and let's go back over to our YOLO deck. So you can control PTZ cameras that are connected to the same network as the YoloBox, but you can also control things like the brand new YoloCam S3 and YoloCam S7. So again, if I go to our YoloBox here and I hold on the input, I can then click on camera settings, and now you can see I have this webcam right here. This is the YoloCam S3. It's not the most flattering angle, but I wanted to just show that it can be mounted on top of a laptop. Now you have the ability to change your sharpness, your contrast, your saturation, and this is going to all happen in real time too. And the only way that I have this camera connected to the YoloBox is via a single USB cable. So you can do that. You can also turn on and off the auto tracking and determine how you want that auto tracking to be going. And you can see I'm somebody that tends to sway when I talk, and you can see in real time that that auto tracking is tracking my face really, really well, even if it's not the best angle too. You can also change your exposure, your ISO, your shutter speed, all of those different things. And you can even change your white balance. You know, we're in this studio and I know that we are using all daylight bulbs. And so I can just click on that, 5600 Kelvin, and I know that my colors are going to match all of the other cameras that are in our studio. So all of this, again, is able to be controlled from the YoloBox. And the same can be applied not only to the S3, but the S7. And while we're talking about being able to control the YoloCam S3 and S7, I did just want to mention that they are in stock and available at Videoguys. The YoloCam S3 is this webcam here, 4K 30p or 1080 60p. It's available for $200 or $199.99. And the YoloCam S7 is pretty cool because it is 4K 60p, but it has a more micro 4/3 sensor on it and mount on it, so you can actually get interchangeable lenses to be able to meet whatever needs you need. Now, the YoloCam S7 does come body only if you already have lenses, or you can get it with an 18 millimeter lens with the camera for an additional $100. And again, these work with any kind of production system or as a webcam or anything like that. But of course, you do get the added benefit of the control built directly into the YoloBox. So it's a good thing to pair with the YoloBox if you're just starting. Speaking of being able to use USB webcam features from the YoloBox, another one of the new features that was added with the YoloBox Extreme is the ability to take one of the USB outputs, plug it into a computer, and it will show up as a webcam. So you can do your whole production from your YoloBox, and you'll see that whole production, all your switching and all of that will show up in your Teams call or your Zoom call or whatever it may be. Some people also like to use the YoloBox as just a switcher, and they want to offload the encoding and use a computer with OBS or vMix or Wirecast installed on it to offload some of the power off of the YoloBox. And you do have that ability as well. Another really cool feature with the YoloBox Extreme is, again, it has those two HDMI outputs, and those are very easily able to be customized. So if, again, we're in our YoloBox interface here, and we click on that gear in the top right-hand corner, we can go down to HDMI out, and you can choose both HDMI 1 and 2, the frame rate, the resolution that you're going to be outputting, as well as choosing whether it's the program out, preview out, multi-view out, custom out, or what we're doing in this case is just taking the whole screen share out. And this is super customizable, and you can do this on the fly as well. So maybe you want to use the YoloBox Extreme and take one of those HDMI outputs to be your multi-view monitor, but maybe you have a confidence monitor for whoever is your talent, or you need to just be able to redistribute that video locally. You can do that. Another thing that I did not put on here, but I should have, is you can actually take the NDI output from the YoloBox, put that video feed onto your network, and then you can redistribute your master program feed anywhere on your network. With NDI, it is limited to just the program feed output, so just keep that in mind. Another thing that has been updated is the recording and some of the features that are included in the recording capabilities. So I'm going to ask Adam to bring up our screen share here again. And if you just click on the record button in the bottom right there, you will be able to see that you can record not only to the internal storage, but if you have an SD card or USB drive that is connected to this, you can record directly to either of those devices as well. I just so happen to have an SD card connected to ours. Then you can also choose the frame rate, the resolution, the bit rate for all of your sources that you are recording. And, let me go back here. And then you can choose the which sources you want to record, master program feed, and you can record all of your video sources as well. You can also choose the recording limit, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or continuously if you're going to be recording a long time. And one of the new features is actually the ability to generate a timeline FCP XML file, and this will help you in post-production by being able to put all of those cuts that you made in your master program file, and that those cuts will be embedded into your file, and then you can edit your video clip's length or swap out a camera angle in post-production with all of those edits already in there. So lots of different functionality in terms of making post-production easy, as well as your live production. Now, here are some features that were added for audience engagement. Now, I can't show you the first two because we're not streaming from the YoloBox, but one of the features is the viewer map and credits. So this function essentially allows you to be able to see where your viewers are joining, and then you can interact with that on a map. And it's going to be a generalized, you know, area of where they are joining from. But if somebody comments and says hello from Tokyo, then you can take their screenshot, bring it in, and show on a map that, hey, we have a viewer joining from Tokyo. Another thing that you can do is you can bring in comments from YouTube or Twitch or wherever you are streaming to, but then you can also customize them quite a bit. You can choose whether or not to show the profile image. You can change the color and size of the font. You can choose the font itself. You can also change the color of the background and the titles. All of that stuff is extremely customizable. And then one of the latest things that they added was actually the telestrate and annotate feature, which is also really cool. And that I can actually show you on our YoloBox here. So if I go back over to this one, and just give me 1 second to go back to my wide shot. So oops, that's not my wide shot. That's my wide shot, thank you. So now all I have to do in order to be able to start drawing on the screen here is I just have to make this screen full screen. And then at the top left, you can see I can turn on and off annotate. And there's a couple different things that you can do with this. The first is going to be having like a laser pointer. So you can, say, hey, look at this guy over here. Or hey, look at the YoloCam S7 over here. You can also choose to have lines that are either going to stay on the screen or disappear after a second. So let's say I want to highlight the YoloCam S7 over here, and then, we're going to briefly talk about, don't forget that the YoloCam S3 is here. But notice how that one disappeared. So you have the choice of having your marks staying on, or if you want them to disappear after a second. So it's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with the YoloBox Extreme in terms of audience engagement to get them involved in your live stream. Now, we're talking about control again, and now I want to talk about some features that have been added to make it so you can control the way that your show looks. And one of those things is color control and also color camera matching. Now, we already showed you really quickly how to control the YoloCams, whether it's the S3 or the S7, but now I kind of want to just show you how you can add a LUT to your show. Now, if you don't know what a LUT is, it's basically a color profile that you can assign to videos. It's short for lookup table. So if you just hold the source that you want to add the LUT to, you can click on Add LUT, and you can add those LUTs. Now, you can upload these LUTs to your YoloBox via the SD card or a USB drive. In this example, I just took, I got some free LUTs from Shutterstock, and now I can add those in here. And as you can see, if I turn it on, it's going to change the color of the shot, and I can turn that one off and turn this one on and say, I don't like that one as much, I like this one a little bit better. Hit done, and now you can see that that LUT is applied to my camera in real time. So you can add that same LUT to all of your cameras in real time, and then you will have a show that looks a little bit more consistent throughout. Another thing, I will ask Adam to stay on this screen right here, is you have the ability to customize your layouts and your multi-views. So you can kind of see how I have this set up here, and it looks very similar to what our show looks like in our normal show, but I built it in the YoloBox. And I want to show you exactly how easy it is to build this. So I'm going to go over to add video source, and this is another thing that they have added a lot of pre-made video layouts. As you can see on the right there, you can see there's a bunch of different freeways that were just added to give more flexibility to how your show looks. My favorite is the customize though. Now, the first thing that you want to do when you customize something is you want to add a background. So again, these backgrounds can come from anywhere, SD cards, USB drives, anything like that. So if I go over here to our internal storage, there is my background. The next thing that I want to add is our PowerPoint. And there's a reason that I want to add this first, because I want this to be under the me layer. So I'm going to put this over here. Now, it used to be that you were able to resize just like I just did, and that was about it for your inputs. But they added the ability to add a border radius to it. So not only can you change the color of the border, let's say we want to go with red for YoloLiv, you can choose the border weight, but you can also kind of soften the corners on these inputs as well. So as long as you don't put anything that is super crucial information in those corners, then this is going to be okay. And then I'm just going to hit the back. And now I need to add my next video source, which would be our wide NDI shot here. Now I already did the key on this, but again, you can kind of see, hey, this isn't going to be good enough. I need to crop my edges, because on the left hand and the right hand, you can see things that shouldn't be there. So I'm going to click on crop, and I already know that I want to go to the 4:3 here. And then I just make this a little bit bigger, and I plop this over here. And now I save it, and hey, that's pretty close to what our show normally looks like. This is our normal show. That's what I just created in what? 2 minutes on the YoloBox Extreme. It's very easy to set up these things. So you can use your crops, you can use LUTs, you can use chroma keys, and you can have all of these camera controls right in the YoloBox. Again, just shows you how easy it is to do this as a one-man operation. There's some other features that they added just so that one person can see what's going on in their YoloBox. So again, I'm going to ask Adam to bring up our feed full screen here. If you swipe down from the top of the YoloBox, you will be able to see your CPU temperature, your CPU temperature, your CPU power use, your GPU power use, your RAM power use. You will also see on the right-hand side that you have the ability to change the fan speed. I'm just going to leave it on auto. And then you also have the ability to see what frame rate and resolution is coming into all of your inputs at a glance. So I know that a couple of them are coming in at 4K and a couple of them are coming in at 1080. And I can quickly see all of the processing power that is happening within my YoloBox just by swiping up and down from the top of the screen. So that is a lot of stuff that we talked about. We're going to go over really, really high level, all of these features that we just discussed. Setup is much quicker and easier and faster than ever before, with the ability to save settings and to be able to live stream directly from quick mode. You have more control than ever. You have the YoloCam control, you have PTZ control, and you have the ability to use Stream Deck or a YOLO Deck to be able to control your YoloBox. With output, you have the ability to take the USB output and plug that into a computer, and it will show up as a webcam source for any host of video conferencing platforms you're using. And you have the ability to customize the output on both of the HDMI. You have the ability to do your ISO recording in 4K 60p, as well as getting those unique file types that will make your post-production editing even that much faster. And for when you are actually doing your live stream, there's a lot more polish that you can do with lookup tables, custom layouts, custom fonts, custom graphics. All of that stuff is being added into the YoloBox, and they are going to continue to do this. On average, it is 4 to 6 weeks between updates for the YoloBox Extreme, and I do not see YoloLiv slowing down. Where's the YoloBox used? The YoloBox is used everywhere, but in particular, we see this becoming really, really popular in those places where it's just one person operating the show, whether it is a house of worship with a volunteer at the back or a podcaster who is doing a show all by themselves, and they just need to be able to get a couple cameras in and a couple different layouts. Sports productions, a lot of youth leagues where it's just, one of the parents as a volunteer doing the entire production, all from the YoloBox Extreme. All of these workflows and more are absolutely viable with the YoloBox Extreme. Now, I did mention at the top of the show that the YoloBox Extreme is on sale, $50 off for the remainder of this month, July, So until July 31st, 2026, the YoloBox Extreme is on sale for $50 off. And also, if you don't need so much horsepower or you want to do some vertical live streaming, the YoloBox Ultra is also $50 off. And the YoloLiv InStream, which is their vertical streamer, is on sale $300 off until the end of the month. Now, I know we talked about a lot of stuff. If you have any questions about anything that we went over, absolutely feel free to give us a call at 800-323-2325. Comment down below, send us an email. And that's all I have for today's show. If you have any questions, let us know. We'll see you next Tuesday at about 3 o'clock Eastern. Thanks.
Videoguys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.